Okay, see.
I allow the onions to cook a bit, and then I add the sausage to it. And yeah, let it simmer. When it simmered enough, I'll take out the sausage and some onions and then add the chicken. You get?
Any seasoning at this point?
No, at this point we're just cooking this, and I've added a bit of the scotch bonnet, and sometimes I would like to do mixed veg, and what I have here is parsley. I have parsley here. I'm not going to add basil because basil is going to have like a tangy kind of, no, I won't have sage rather. I can add a bit of basil, a bit of parsley. But we have mixed veg, you can use mixed veg to do that. You can mix veggies.
You mean mixed herbs?
Mixed herbs, yeah, that's what I mean, sorry. Pardon my luminous crystallization. So for now, I'll use parsley. Just a bit of parsley.
How about thyme?
No. And the thyme has a bit of sharp taste to it, and considering the fact that these children are going to eat this, I don't like using herbs for it, but thyme for it. But if I was making rice, then the thyme will go into the rice, because before it's done, that sharp kind of prickly
How
taste.
about bay leaf?
Oh well, bay leaf would work, but not at this stage. Not at this stage. Remember, as I said, after we've done a bit of this, they'll bring it out and then jump in with the chicken. We'll do chicken differently. So the oil, when this is brought out, the oil will now contain scotch bonnet, contain the herbs, contain some of the onion.
But you've not added the scotch bonnet yet.
Yeah, the scotch bonnet. I had a bit of it.
Oh.
I did, yeah. But just for show, I'm just gonna put this in. It's very sharp, and not to do an overkill, but you know the dry pepper, add a bit of the dry pepper to it, and we don't have jumbo, so since we do not have jumbo, I'm going to use a bit of,
Which is stock powder.
yeah, with the stock powder. I'll use a bit of star. Yo, yeah, I've got none here. I've got none, but just one. So I'll take one of the none, and I'll use half of it. I wish I had more, but I'll just use half of the none. And that's it. Yeah, just let it from simmering to start kind of frying a bit. All because I want the sausage to be properly cooked, in oil. Today is Friday, it is Saturday, so I mean, we are cheating on everything, in our oil and everything. So we'll give that about 2-3 minutes.
And somebody tell that girl to stop yelling.
Give that about 2-3 minutes, and then we'll scoop that out and then throw in the chicken. So at this point, I got to scoop it out. Scoop that out. Mind you, before scooping, I have to reduce the heat. So the heat of the stove is as minimum, almost off. Try to scoop out all that. So you can see it all nice and fried and has the herbs built into it. So at this point, you can even taste it. And then next thing, I would now the chicken. So I use this to make this cooking fast. We are deep frying the chicken. Another option of doing this chicken is you do a bit of marinade and then you put it into the air dryer, air fryer rather, and allow it to do that. But I want to fry it a bit so that it can bring out the juices, bring out the oil, and that will serve as. And then the chicken flavor will be leached into the oil and get soaked up by the veggies. Yeah, and then I can increase the heat just a little bit to the minimum. Remember, I turned it down a bit. So just crank it up just a little bit to the middle point. You don't want it too hot.
Yeah, you forgot to mention that the chicken had been deboned.
Yeah, the chicken has been deboned and chopped way before now. Sorry, that's it. For the same thing too, we'll let the chicken sit and deep fry a little bit.
Are you going to add seasoning cubes to this as well?
Yeah. Yeah. Just a bit. So the last cube that is there, remember we had a 2-in-1. So add a 2-in-1 to this. The last bit of 2-in-1. Add that to that. And again, just a little bit of scotch bonnet and a little bit of my dry pepper.
It's really going to be hot and spicy.
Not that hot, you'll be shocked. And then, for good measure, a bit of onion. Oh, love my onions. Careful thinking about it. So you need to watch the heat so that the chicken doesn't burn and stick to the pan.
Well, this is a salad master pan, so I'm sure it won't burn.
Yeah, it won't burn, but again, who knows? The chicken might be stubborn and want to burn, so let's not give it that opportunity to do that. Okay. Now, I have a bit of onion left. I'll add some more because I want to reduce the quantity of onion I add towards the end that will not be properly cooked. So again, you leave that to cook for about 2 minutes and you keep stirring it. You keep stirring it because you want it to be properly cooked. You can make that 5 minutes. You want it to be properly cooked, so you stir it. Now at this stage, sometimes what I'll do is probably say, okay, why don't I do a bit of Asian fusion? So a bit of light soy sauce, just a little, just a little. Does that look like a little? It looks more than a little.
Yeah, it's more than a little. I don't know what your measure of a little is.
Well, whatever it is.
The aroma is really nice.
Yeah, of course. So the soy sauce. So that's why I call it. It's a fusion of that. Asian fusion. So imagine the soy sauce mixing up with the scotch bonnet. It's wonderful.
So at what point are you putting the mushroom? Are you no longer using mushroom?
I have not prepared the mushroom, but if I was using it, I'll put it after spoil. But I don't have mushroom prepared for now. So for today, we're going to skip that mushroom point. And we're going to focus on throwing in the mixed veg. Ideally, it's always better to chop veggies, fresh. But in absence of that, you can use frozen mixed veg.
Because this was an afterthought.
It's an afterthought. The only one that's chopped there is the red pepper. That's chopped. But the mixed veg is not chopped. But again, you want this to cook properly before you do that.
So you're going to cover it a little?
It depends. As I say, you keep stirring it. I don't have too much oil there. I think it's 50-50 between oil and water. Remember the water that is leaching out from the chicken and the oil. So one has to be careful. If you want to cover it, probably just for a minute, and that will hasten the cooking process. So let's see. So this pot has, it's not a pressure pot, but it has the capability of delivering some amount of pressure to the cooking to make it cook faster and also retain the heat that is lost
Add
when you leave it
flavor.
open. And we can lock in the flavor actually. Not only does it lock it in, it will help to accentuate the flavor of what you're making. Add master pot. Okay, see that? You see that coming around nicely.
This has been like what, 10 minutes, 5 minutes?
Yeah, about 5 minutes. A bit too long, but again. Now at this point, the journey of the veggies starts. And the first one that gets to get in there is the celery.
So why did you put a celery at this point?
I want, again, celery has
For the fusion as well.
yeah, fusion, part of the fusion, and I want you to get locked in with the chicken because the other veggies do not have the
Is it like sizzling?
seasoning properly the celery has.
Yeah.
As you notice, the oil is gone down, and if you want to use more oil, is at this point you now use probably olive oil, you know, just to make it
Butter.
olive oil or butter, depending on, you have to do it to preference.
Oh, coconut oil.
Coconut oil. Coconut oil. Is there?
Yeah. Do I grab the coconut oil?
Yes. And so, okay, so part of the fusion I talked about, you have the coconut oil, so that will make part of the fusion. So this is like Asian Caribbean fusion. Instead of using olive oil to get that fusion, you can use coconut oil. You can use hot pressed coconut oil or cold pressed coconut oil, it doesn't matter.
This is cold press.
So you can use, this is cold press. I don't use too much. I think that's enough. That's to melt it out. Cold press, so I'll get out the spoon.
The winter is dealing with it.
Yes. And the moment I put it on, you could already, perceive this
Yum.
so nice aroma. The fusion. You see that?
Are we there yet?
Yeah, with this done then, we can now start putting the rest of the veggies. And as I said, we're going to use this mixed veg for that. I didn't have time to cut it up since it was an afterthought. We're going to use this. And it's about moderation, about the quantity. That should do for now. Stirring it. And since there's a bit of water in it, I'm going to cook a bit more.
You keep saying water. We don't say water, we say juice.
Moisture.
Juice.
And then the last bit of
The onion and scotch.
onions and scotch bonnet. and then the red pepper.
Sweet peppers.
Pardon?
Sweet peppers.
Yeah, the sweet pepper. And the sweet pepper for that.
What was that thing you said was in it again?
Pardon?
What was that thing you said was in it? The chemical component?
Capsaicin. So capsaicin is the active ingredient in pepper, and the more the capsaicin, the hotter it is. You know, so
But this is less.
so habaneros and jalapenos will have more quantities of capsaicin, as well as scotch bonnet has a decent quantity, so that will make that hotter. But for sweet pepper, it has very, very low amount of capsaicin, and so because of that,
It's just garnishing at this
so
point.
it's not hot. It's just see the nice mixture of colors from
Look
the
at that
carrot,
color.
you know, from the carrot, from the sweet corn, and then two different shades
Lovely
of green.
color. Look at that
from
color.
the green pepper, the green bean, and also celery, and then the red from. Now, at this point, you're ready to put your. At this point, you're ready to put your sausage back in. Okay. No sausage. See that? See that?
Jada loves sausage.
Yes. My daughter will call it sausage. We have a lot of sausages in there. And that's it. That gives us our regular Saturday filling for making wraps.
Somebody is missing.
Now, that's a different ballgame. That has its own, just normal pepper and a bit of seasoning in its own plate.
Would you need to then, pour this out?
Yeah,
to
I
use the same
want
pan?
You use the same pan, but have to be careful so that there's no burn, it doesn't get burned. So, but for the sake of being careful with it not getting burned, probably use a fresh pan.
Right.
So we have that ready, and you could use just that for the wrap, but I like to have a side of scrambled egg. So I'm going to use that to make scrambled egg, okay? Yeah, so just a little bit of oil. I prefer to use sunflower oil, just a little bit of sunflower oil. So it's a bit of coconut, just to keep up with the fusion. I don't want anything missing, that's just too much. Not much, it's enough.
Ooh. Gemuk.
That's enough.
This is gemuk.
So now I have to move it out.
Did you season the egg?
The egg is going to have just a bit of light seasoning.
Which is salt.
Yeah. In some cases, you could use just half a cube of seasoning, powder. We already have a lot of pepper in the vegetable mix. Well, that. And we see just a pinch of salt. Just a little pinch of salt. That should be enough. Okay. Let's get it beaten. Beaten the egg before. Let's beat it again. It's really scrambling. Okay. And then I'll do this. I'm gonna get shock you a bit. Now, sprinkle. Apart from flavoring, I want you to have that bit of coloring, of green coloring.
This is
inside it.
gemuk.
So I turn that and let the other one flow up. They can also cook.
I thought you said you're scrambling it.
I'm still gonna scramble it.
Oh.
I'll repeat the same process. Push it. You see that? Okay, pushing it to that bit. And I slightly move the pan so that the heat is towards the part that has more of the uncooked part of the egg. And then again, because I need it
So
to,
you're tilted the pan.
yeah, I need it to properly cook at some point before I start scrambling it.
I won't do it that way.
Okay, I will do it this way. See, I don't just cook food, I create food. Okay, start breaking it up then. See how nice and fluffy it is? Sometimes I would add milk to my egg when I'm beating it, but I didn't add this time around. There's a milk to it. See that? Nothing burnt, nothing left, nothing missing. See that? So I want the eggs, even though it's scrambled, I want them to come out in big chunks, in big scrambled chunks. Is that not lovely?
It's lovely.
This is the parsley that I sprinkled in it. See, just not much, but again. And that concludes this part. So that.
Look at that color.
That concludes that part. So the egg is ready. Just pull it out. That's beautiful. We'll have that bowl off. And then the next bowl.
So you're making sure that the oil does not go with it.
Yeah.
This washing machine is creating a whole lot of noise.
Okay.
Look at that color.
So, this is the bread for the wrap. For the quick one, we're going to just put this up in the pan. The rest are the oven, so for this one,
It's actually bigger than the pan.
bigger than the pan will. Yeah, it will work. Just for a quick 1 minute, just to heat it up. All right. So that's ready.
Is it ready now?
Yeah. So grab that out. Flat plate. At this point, based on preference or choice, you can use ketchup. I use chili sauce.
You're just in a spicy mood this morning. Well, that's a lot.
It's not a lot, trust me. And just a bit of okay, that happens.
It's picking butterflies at you.
Okay, that's that.
Blowing butterflies at you.
You have your great spoon.
Yeah, the great spoon.
Let's get a bit of that. Bit of that. You see?
You can't imagine the number of swallowing I can hear behind me.
And the chunk of eggs. And it's ready. So I like to fold my own that way. That's one on the left, one on the right. I'm gonna take it that way. Fold. And then you fold. And then you fold.
Yeah.
Now let's take a bite and see.
No, I think you should cut it so we see how it looks in the middle.
Knife, please.
There you go. Knife to the rescue.
You saw it. Saw that. Saw that. Saw that.
At this point, you should put your fingers across it. Does that?
Don't worry, I got that. That's what it looks like.
Yay! That looks nice.
Okay. So Jada gets first bite. So Jada, let's take a bite.
Wow.
Yummy. Yeah. So now that she's christened it, let's see. That's awesome. That's awesome. So that's how we make our weekend wrap. You could do it anyhow you like it. Put in whatever you want to put in. We also have variants where we'll add mushroom or we'll add shrimps, but that's how we do ours. Thank you so much. Have a nice weekend.